Hi, my name is Nino Civitanzas. In this video, I'm going to explain what tessellation is all about. Number 1. What math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video? Tessellation were the focus on the video presentation. Number 2. What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world cases or examples that will show the concept. Tessellations are patterns that are created by repeating a shape. Tessellations are a type of pattern found in nature, in which distinct shapes are created by fitting together multiple geometric units or tiles without gaps or overlaps to create an intriguing and unified pattern. Triangle, hexagon, and square are the three basic shapes of tessellation. The honeycomb, spiderweb, and sunflower are examples of tessellation that we can find in nature. Translation, rotation, and glide reflection are all rules that apply to tessellation. Translation is when a shape repeats by moving or sliding. Rotation is when a shape repeats by rotating. And lastly, glide reflection is a combination of translation and reflection. Let's proceed to question number 3. What are your insights about these mathematical truths or certainties? Some of us didn't notice that those patterns that we can see in our nature, such as honeycomb, spiderweb, and sunflower, are examples of tessellation. The tessellation in nature is important for us to identify the different patterns that exist within the nature. That's all for my video presentation. Thank you and God bless.
What math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video?
The concept that fully discussed on video is about tessellation, 3 basic tessellate, and the rules.
What concept? Cite few more real-world cases or example that would show the concept.
The tessellation or tilling of a flat surface is covering of plane using one or more shape called tiles. With no overlaps and no gaps, tessellation is created over and over again. When the shape is repeated over and over again, there are also 3 basic shapes of tessellation. First, the triangle. Second is hexagonous. And the third one is square. There are also 3 rules. First, transitional. Second is rational. And the third one is glide reflection.
And these are the 3 rules example of transitional, rational, and glide reflection.
One of my example of tessellation is called honeycomb. Another place to find tessellation in the real world. Another hobby of sorts are puzzle. There are puzzles on the market that you can manipulate different shapes and make tessellation out of there.
What are your insights about these mathematical truths or certainties?
In mathematics, tessellation can be generalized to higher dimension, and a variety of geometries. Tessellation can be very useful in education and in teaching mathematics. Creating tessellation does not depend largely on numerical skills. Therefore, students with many different levels of mathematical abilities can create them. All students have an equal chance to make wonderful artwork and patterns. Can be just the problem solving that is a part of creating the tessellation. Patterns can make it worth the time spent on teaching about them.
M. Sumido. Now I will going to read to you my answer about the following question. First, what math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video? The math concept that is being discussed in the video is all about the tessellation. And if we talk about tessellation, it is a pattern created with identical shapes which fit together, with no gaps or a shape that repeats to make a pattern. There are basic shape of the tessellation, the triangles, hexagons, and square, and the rules are the translations, rotation, and glide reflection. Second, what is about this concept? Side view of more real world cases or example that would show the concept. The concept is all about logically created pattern can be seen in the real world. Example for this is an art, architecture, hobbies, and many other areas. For example of tessellation found in our everyday surrounding. Specific example include oriental carpets, quilts, origami, Islamic architecture. Third, what are your insight about this mathematical truth or certainties? My insight about mathematical truth and certainties are it gives us a way to understand patterns, to quantify relationship, and to predict the future, and also math is a powerful tool for global understanding and communication, using by me and all of the students out there the sense of the world and solves complex and real problems.
Good day. I'll introduce myself first. My name is Landal Eve D. Sabalboro. The guide question and my answers. Number 1. What math concept is fully discussed on your assignment video? My answer is the fully discussed on the assignment video was all about the tessellation, a shape that repeats to make a pattern. Number 2. What is about this concept? Cite few more real word or example that words show the concept. The example that words show in the concept was the 3 basic shape tessellate and the 3 rules. These are the example of 3 basic shape tessellate. The triangles. You line up to right, down, and left, then you slide from top to bottom. Same also, but you go down first and then up to make a triangle. The hexagons. Same as the triangle, also to create the hexagons. And last, the squares. You line from right to left, then you line also top to the bottom to make a squares. The example of 3 rules are the translations. The simple but need to write down and need to repeatedly to create form or art. The rotation is create pattern from a rotation, and also glide reflection. Same also as the first, but if you move, you should move to the left up. Number 3. What is your insight about these mathematical truths or certainties? My answer is one mathematical idea that can be emphasized through tessellation is symmetry.
What math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video? Have you ever looked at a tile, pattern, or mosaic and wondered how one comes up with something so intricate and creative? Chances are that a geometric concept such as tessellating was used in the design. A tessellation is simply a tiling that has a repeated pattern of one or more shapes. For a pattern to truly to be a tessellation, the shapes cannot overlap and can have no space between them. The pattern can be created by rotating, translating, sliding, and or reflecting, mirroring the shapes. 2. What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world cases or example that would show the concept. A tessellation is a tiling over a plane with one or more figures, such that figures fill the plane with no overlaps and no gaps. Example of a tessellation: a tile floor, a brick or block wall, a checker of chessboard, and a fabric pattern. What 3. What are your insight about these mathematical truths or certainties? Something that will definitely happen. Victory is now a mathematical certainly. Synonyms and related words. Something that is certain or likely to happen. That kind of truth you get in math is a rather low level of truth. Tautological truth, physicists use math as a tool. To whatever extent they are able to put truth in at the beginning. Math allows one to derive consistent results. The choice of what math to use has to be a part of the input and empirical choice.
My name is Erica Bisano, Section November. What is math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video. It is all about tessellation. What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world cases or examples that would show the concept. This concept is all about tessellation. Tessellation is a shape seed repeats to make a pattern. Tessellations can be found in many areas of life. Art, architecture, hobbies, and many other areas hold example of tessellations found in our everyday surroundings. Specific examples include oriental carpets, quilts, origami, Islamic architecture, and the R.M.C. Escher. One of the best examples of tessellation is Escher's paintings is lizards. What are your insights about this mathematical truth or sentence? I can only say that tessellation could be helpful in any way. It can give you money if you are an artist, especially when you are a teacher. It could benefit your students. You could make money by making a different patterns so that it can form an art. It could be designed in walls, paintings, and carpet, etc. I realize that it could be helpful to any of us, especially in our generation right now. There are many students that doesn't know what is the tessellation and what is the importance of tessellations in our everyday life.
Good day everyone, I am Kin Salusod from Section November. So this video, I answer the 3 questions about the concept of mathematics. The first question is, what math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video? So the concept of the video is about tessellation. A tessellation is a shape that repeats to make a pattern. Second question, what is about the concept? Cite few more real-world cases or example that would show the concept. So, there are 3 basic shapes of tessellation. First is a triangle. An example of something in the shape of triangle is a piece of pizza. Next is hexagon. Some example of hexagon is a pencil, and the last is square. Some example of square is a chessboard, floor tiles, and there are 3 roles of tessellation. First is a translation, second is a rotation, and last is glide reflection. And the last question is, what are your insight about these mathematical truths or certainties? So my insight about this is, you can easily understand mathematics if there is a pattern.
Hi everyone, I'm Bertino Leavi Salinas, and I'm answering the question, what math concept is fully discussed in your assigned video? What is about this concept cute few more real world cases or example that show that concept? What are insight about this mathematical video, truths and certainties? Number 1. What math concept is fully discussed in your assigned video? It is a symmetry. If you look at complete tessellation, you will see the original motif repeats in a pattern. One mathematical idea that can be emphasized through tessellation is symmetry. Number 2. What is about this concept? Quote few more real-world cases or example that would show the concept. It is a tessellation definition or concept. A tessellation is a create when a shape is repeated over and over again, covering a plane without any gaps overlaps. Another word for a tessellation is a tiling. We can see this pattern on our life from ETR, architecture and design, and many others area hold examples the decision found in our day surrounding a specific example are oriental carpets or rug, origami, Islamic architecture, and grand building. Number 3. What are your insights about these mathematical truths and certainties? Tessellation patterns produce many lines of symmetry. Colors are presented and could also be considered when looking for lines and symmetry. It represents by line and colors, so not all patterns are combined with colors. In my own perception, tessellation pattern could be attractive to someone's perspective nor beautiful. In addition, it is commonly used as a diagonal shape, and you will see the origin motif in repeats in its pattern by observing the complete tessellation and one mathematical idea that can be emphasized. That's all.
Hello everyone, I'm Genmar Caballero Sagusay, section member from Group 3. According to the video that I watched, it is about tessellation. The basic shapes of tessellation, we have triangles, hexagons, and squares. The rules of tessellation, we have translation, rotation, and line reflection. According to the video, tessellation is an shape that repeats to make pattern. The real-world example of this pattern is an honeybee. It is repeated hexagon shapes to make an honeybee. My insight about these mathematic truths and certainties that mathematics is everywhere. Even in nature and community we see mathematics. We cannot deny that mathematics is included in our daily lives. That's all, and thank you.
What math concept is fully discussed on your assignment video? A pattern of one or more shape where the shape do not overlap or have space between them. The patterns are created by rotating, translation, and selecting the shape. What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world skills of examples. They're showing that there is a from the construct by doing that patterns like how shown on the video. What are your insight about these mathematical truths of certainties? My insight of this mathematical situation is and pattern. They show what is the definition of each shape and how to understand it.
Yes.
Ken Sante, Section November. What math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video? Tessellation, 3 basic shape tessellate. There are 3 roles. What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world cases or example that would show concept. What is tessellation? Tessellation, an arrange of geometric tiles that complete covers a plane with no gaps of overlaps. And about 3 basic shape tessellate have a triangle, square, and hexagon. There are 3 roles. First, translation. Second, rotation. Third, glide reflection.
What are your insight about this mathematical truth or certainties? Tessellation patterns produce many lines of symmetry. Colors could also be considered when looking for lines of symmetry. When young children, you could have them learn about tessellation with patterns, block, pieces of geometric figures such as the square, rhombus, triangle, hexagon, and rectangle.